As I mentioned at the end of the last video, just about every function that we call tied to Web3 is going to be returning a promise. Now, promises are great, and they're certainly better than the callbacks that we had to use with earlier versions of Web3. However, there's an even better syntax we can make use of to clean up this code right here. So rather than making use of promises throughout the rest of this course, we're going to be making use of the AsyncAwait syntax. So rather than chaining on the .thens nonstop, we'll use AsyncAwait to clean up our code and make it look more synchronous in nature. Let's see what that'll look like in practice. I'm going to highlight the entire .then and delete it. Then in front of the statement that produces a promise, which is right here, we'll place our await keyword. Then in front of that, we'll assign this value to an accounts variable. Whenever I use await, I have to make sure that the function that it is contained in is marked as being asynchronous in nature. So right before our arrow function that gets passed to before each, we'll mark it with an async, like so. And then the last step, and you'll recall when we were just looking at our quick review of Mocha a couple of videos ago, we had said that whenever we want to get access to a variable declared inside of our before each, inside of an it block, we have to define that variable ahead of time with the let keyword. So right before the before each statement, we'll say let accounts, like so. Now, whenever this file is executed, the accounts variable will be defined. The before each statement will run. It will grab the list of accounts. It will wait for that request to be completed, and then it will assign that list of accounts to the accounts variable. Then we can go ahead and add a statement inside of our it block down here that makes use of those accounts. So just to make sure this is still working the way we expect, let's do a console log of accounts, like so. And let's flip back over to our terminal. We'll run npm run test again, and we should still see that list of accounts appear on the screen. Great, looks good. Throughout the rest of the course, we're going to be making use of AsyncAwait. And I don't think there's a single instance, maybe one or two, in which we will actually use promises rather than using AsyncAwait. So over time, we're going to see a lot of use of this newer syntax, and it's definitely going to do a lot to clean up our code. Let's continue in the next video, and we're going to figure out how to make use of one of these accounts to deploy our contract. So I'll see you in a moment.